We'll get us started. Forgot to share the sound again, didn't I?
That's what I was gonna say. It's kind of a weak bell.
It's just ding. So welcome guys to this, the 17th of March, I've lost track of how many meeting of 2020 and our final regular meeting of March. Tonight I'm gonna go through the district grants process overview. I'm going to go through very quickly the global grants process overview, and I'll run through the slides that they provided us for the status on the foundation, Rotary Foundation. That'll be enough for us to get going. And then I would like to say welcome to Matthew Abraham, who's joining us from Jenkintown, Pennsylvania. Matthew is a president-elect this year for his club, and he met John at PETS. So Mr. Abraham, may I ask you to just quickly give us an introduction of yourself?
Yes, I joined Rotary Club of Jenkintown about 3 years ago. And, you know, being a new guy, I always raise my hand. So that's why I ended up here as the president-elect. Our club actually started in 1924, and we are nearing the 100th year anniversary. So in 24, we used to have so many members. Now we have about 40, you know, on climbing. Hopefully the climb is quicker than we all think it has been for the last, you know, few years. You all know that, you know, membership is dwindling, right, everywhere. I don't know what you guys do to increase the membership, but it's a tough one. And a lot of our members, you know, been there, done that many times over. So trying to attract newer members, I mean, younger people, and lead some projects so we can keep them and then maybe recruit, you know, more people. So been the membership chair for the last 2 years. So, and actually been the Zoom host for this, for the last year, for the COVID times. So I had to be there every week, like, you know, right?
You know what happens. You show your face all the time, and then poof, you end up being the president-elect.
Yes. Yeah. So that's what happened to me. So, and we are here. I'm here. So.
Well, very nice to meet you. Keith up here, I don't know where he is on your screen. Keith in Punta Gorda, Florida is actually our membership chair. We are made up of about 25 active members and about 25 associate members. So our associate members are active members of other clubs who join us because they have a love of riding and want to be part of they're essentially honorary members for us. And we are literally all over the United States and Canada, with a member in Mexico City and one in Guatemala City. So yeah, very diverse group. A lot of us kind of came out of the District 6380 is physically located in the southeastern Michigan and southwestern Ontario area that kind of touches Michigan over here. So a lot of us kind of came from there. Jerry Jackson is our founder, and we are in our fourth year, right? Third year?
3, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm 3.
So how often do you get to meet?
We meet every Wednesday. For the first 4 Wednesdays of the month. If we have a 5th Wednesday, we take a week off. Our first 3 Wednesdays are typically we have a speaker, and then a 4th Wednesday is a happy hour meeting.
In person for riding, before the COVID hit, how often were you guys able to meet and ride together?
Not everybody's ridden together in this club, but most of us have at one time or another through IFMR ridden together. We typically have 2 to 4 rides planned during the year, so people have opportunity. And COVID destroyed that completely.
Yeah, we're rebuilding. We're in a rebuilding year.
sort
And
of
I would say,
minded.
Jerry, we were pretty good about if we were in the neighborhood getting together. So if we had a group of us, driving through Houston, if we could grab a couple folks in Houston and get together for a quick ride or a dinner or something, we were pretty good about doing that too.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. And I think
Generally, it's up to an individual member to organize a ride. Like Jerry's organized a couple. I have.
Rory has.
Ute.
Rory
Roy.
has. Yep.
And I'm not sure who else. But we do, like in August, we're going down to Maggie Valley for a memorial ride.
Yep, we'll cross our fingers that we can make that one happen. I think we should be good, right? I mean, even if we are still in a state of being careful, that's a good thing to do, is I'll get together and ride anyway. It's outside and safe. As long as Jerry's not leading the pack with his GPS.
Gary.
John, that's John.
I know it's John.
Yeah, his GPS has his little funky divining rod in it.
Maybe his GPS just wants to be on the Himalayan that we bought this weekend.
Wrong
Something
finger,
wrong in your
John.
eye, John?
I got something in my eye.
You mentioned Himalayan. Is that Royal Enfield?
Yeah, my husband. So I have an Indian, and we went to buy new gloves for me this weekend at the at the dealership, and walked out with a Royal Enfield as well.
Ah,
so
How's the
so
bike?
it gets delivered on Thursday, I think, or tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Friday.
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
Friday.
And when do you take your class?
Start Wednesday next week. I
Is
actually
that like
think,
4 sessions?
yeah, it's 2 night sessions and then 2 full days. They actually called me yesterday and said that I made it into this week's class, but I was busy. So
Well,
I'll do it
it's
next week.
interesting. I was talking to somebody last week, and he mentioned getting a Himalayan and riding across the United States. I mean, or a big long trip, starting in Virginia, I think West Virginia or something, and
Come on down.
taking the off roads. I mean, near, not the main highways or anything like that.
Is that somebody that we would know that you were talking to? Because we have a member.
know.
Okay. Well, then we should introduce whoever that was to Jim Dodmead, who's one of our members who lives in South Carolina. He's in Charleston, and his family's in Virginia, but he was talking to me about buying a Himalayan and doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah, he lives in the Poconos in Pennsylvania. So
Oh, a couple hours from here.
Yep.
yeah,
So that's-
90 minutes.
So that's who we are, kind of in a nutshell. Our main service project so far has been in support of an eye clinic in Guatemala, led by Jerry Jackson. So we try to go down once a year and support that. It got rescheduled from May to August of last year, and then rescheduled from August to May, and now rescheduled from May to August again. So we're trying to get down there, but that was our number one project. So this year, Michaela Shaler there is leading the charge to, while we do the Maggie Valley ride, she is going to be leading the charge to plant some trees. Rotary has a history with friendship trees, and we're going to be planting some trees while we're out on that ride in honor of the 3 people that are being memorialized on the ride. And then I'm going to be working on another separate project where we're all going to go out individually and hopefully plant a tree or several in our own neighborhoods in September.
Oh, I'd like to hear more about it. I think that aligns with this year's theme, right? Environmental number 7.
Yep.
Right, no one knows.
I would like to say it was accidental, but I think we kind of did it on purpose. I was actually thinking about that, y'all, about, the fact that we as riders, as motorcyclists, we're kind of leading the charge when it comes to being fuel efficient, right? So maybe we could parlay that into something as well. So.
Oh, that's great.
Well, Matthew, thank you very much again for joining us. I appreciate it. I want us to be able to chat at the end, so I want to kind of flip through
Sure.
these slides.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share my screen. Actually, I didn't ask, does anybody have any happy bucks before we get started?
You should have
Mr.
a happy buck.
Keith.
Keith,
have a happy buck in that yesterday I became a great grandparent for the 7th time.
Ah,
Wow,
congratulations.
that's fantastic. Congrats. Awesome. John, did you have something?
Deb does.
Deb have something. You're muted, Deb. You're still muted. Yeah.
Still muted.
There you go.
After you told me I was muted, I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Actually, it's been an interesting week. I was out with Ute was it yesterday? I don't even know what day it is anymore. Yesterday, we were at the Harrisburg Rotary meeting, which was really nice because that was the first in-person meeting that I was able to attend. So that was an interesting experience. But the phone call I got afterward from Uday was actually very exciting news for us as a group, because she has finally gotten everything. They're working on the contract, granted, but we have a hotel for the conference. So all of the motorcycle Rotarians and IFMR members can all stay in the same place with wonderful parking and everything else. So that she brought that to me yesterday.
I'm in a meeting now.
Today. So I wanted to make sure we shared that.
Thanks, Deb. Yeah, that's exciting. So Matthew, the Rotary International Conference is in Houston, not this coming year, but the following year. So our two people so far that we have down in Houston are kind of our advanced party. to go down.
Oh, cool. Maybe I can go there.
That would be awesome. Yeah, we could all meet in person.
Quick
Sheila,
question
just,
for you.
what's
Sorry.
that? Yeah.
How do you transfer the happy bucks to your account?
It's more of a feel.
Oh, okay. Because we missed that.
Yeah.
The Zoom started, so just curious.
Yeah, we call them happy bucks, but we haven't actually implemented anything that looks like real bucks. It's nice, as a completely virtual club, we don't have any over and our dues to RI, so it makes it a little bit easier for us. Sheila just joined us, and I muted you, Sheila. I apologize. So you wanted.
Hello.
Hi, welcome. And I think Sheila
Thank you.
was also an introduction from John Cram, also from Pets.
Yes.
Welcome. We were just kind of going
Thank
over
you.
who we are as a club. Sorry that we missed you. And where are you physically located, Sheila?
So I'm in Tinton Falls, and I am the president of the Tinton Falls Rotary Club.
Tinton, Tinton?
Yep. We're in Monmouth County, New Jersey.
Oh, okay, cool. From a housekeeping standpoint, do you mind if Michaela Schaller up there puts you down as a guest attendee in our attendance?
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Thank
All
you.
right, guys. Thank you. All right. Any other happy bucks to share?
Hey, what are our two guests writing?
Do we have writers?
I'm
Oh, yeah.
writing I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sheila.
Oh, thanks. You're probably riding more than I am. I have a 7-year-old, so my Suzuki GS 500E has been retired for about 7 years.
That was my first bike. Now I ride an Intruder 800, but I don't
Ooh,
ride
alright.
that much though. My buddy who we bought first motorcycle together moved to Florida, Tampa. So I don't have a buddy to ride with. So very
Oh, but
rarely.
you do. But look at all these buddies you have to ride with, Matthew. All of them.
That's right. Up until now, right?
Well, awesome. Welcome, very much welcome to both of you. I appreciate you showing up. This is going to be hopefully informative for you too. It's specific to our district, but it's very generalized about, we're going to be talking about grants, the grants process for the district grants and global grants tonight. I'm going to go through a quick foundation update, just where we are. So I'm going to share my screen. And this one doesn't have any sound, so I don't have to remember to share sound this time, which is good because I always forget, as we proved early. All right, so District 6 through 380. Are you guys seeing my foundation team member slide?
Yep.
Thank you much. All right, this is your District 6380 foundation Rotary for the year. Ashish Sarkar, Joe Bowman, Jason Whipple, Bruce Dunbar, Brenda I'm going to get it wrong. Okanicki, right, Jerry? Don Jackson, Julie Dunbar, David McGuire, and your Peace Fellow Scholarship Chair, Sarah Barnwell. Good. Oh, I'm going to skip through this one because we're going to go through that in a minute. Oh, this is all together. I apologize. I thought this was a different. Okay, so I guess we'll do it all at the same time. All right, district grants for this year. One-time application for all the clubs. Both community as well as international projects are eligible. So that meaning that the district grants can be used for an international project. It doesn't have to be local, which is good for us. All projects applications are due June 15th. I'm going to come back to that date a couple times because I want to make sure that we hit the application deadline. All projects are evaluated together and awarded together. So everybody is submitting between now and June 15th. At that point, they'll start evaluating and they'll be awarding based on the funding that they have. Anything that's submitted after that point will be evaluated based on whether they have any funds. Matching is available this year is up to 50% of the club contribution, not to exceed $2,500, meaning if we do a project that costs $7,500, then we put 5,000 in, they will add 2,500 bucks and we'll be all set. The MOU was sent out I'll sign it as this year's president, and then Uta will sign it as president-elect and send that out. We'll get that taken care of. Global grants, the minimum grant size is $30,000 with a maximum of 400. I would say that this for us is probably a stretch goal, and I would love to get here in the next couple of years. Unless somebody's got a project in their back pocket that I'm not aware of, I think we're probably not going to do this year. However, I will say that we do have the opportunity, if we're approached or you guys hear of anybody in another club that wants to do a joint project that we could potentially be part of. I'd like to evaluate that as well.
There is a member in my club who is very involved in global grants and has done a couple of projects. And right now, I believe he's seeking funding for a project in Guatemala for water for a well. So I can definitely, put him in touch with you guys if you think.
Yeah, please do, because actually Guatemala is where we tend to do our projects. So that would actually be kind of aligned with where we are. And there's a good chance Jerry, who unfortunately had to take a phone, Jerry would be aware of what's going on down there. Thank you, Sheila.
Great. You bet.
All right. Yep. So we have to have a Rotary Club partner in the whole country. We have to have a sponsoring international partner, and the matching is based on a formula, which you need a decoder ring for. Not really. So something that's different this year, that they're not going to match any cash donations from the clubs. So that's something that we'll have to, on the internal side for the club board who's on here, we'll have to talk about like how we would handle any cash donations that come in. So this really becomes an issue, or becomes something we have to address if we were to do like a fundraiser where people are actually coming and paying cash. We'd have to transfer that into non-cash to get the district grant. And district designated funds will only be matched at 80%. So that's a difference this year. Starting this year, polio match used to be at 100%, but will only be at 50%. The 2-for-1 match from the Gates Foundation is still available for all Rotary Fund donations. And Rotary is still expected to raise $50 million annually for Polio Plus, which becomes $150 million with the Gates Foundation match. I will say again, and I'll say it at every meeting, we're slightly shy of that 50 million mark, and we need to be, if you think about it, you want to throw $10 towards the Polio Plus section on Rotary Foundation, please do.
May I put in 2 cents about Polio Plus?
Absolutely, sir.
Rotary's goal for each and every Rotarian is to donate at least $45 to Polio Plus.
That is 100% true. In addition to that, they are waiving this year the requirement for every member to donate $100, and every member of a club to donate $100 to get matching grants for the district, but they are asking that everybody still donate what they can. So I'll throw that out there as well. So every time I make this a presentation, I mess it up. You guys seeing the presentation view, or are you seeing the slides? You got the slides?
Now the slides are there.
All right, thank you. All right. I think that's slide 2. Nope. All right. So the purpose of the district grants is to serve our district, which is interesting for us, to serve our local community, which for us is a much larger community, right? So we have the opportunity to both serve our local communities where we physically are, but we are also very often, and Jerry can attest to this, what we do is we use our district grant to fund an international project. So the projects and initiatives should be focusing on the now 7 areas of focus, right? Promoting peace, fighting disease, providing clean water, sanitation, and hygiene, supporting education, growing local communities. And this year, the new one is addressing environmental issues. As I said earlier, Mickey's leading the charge on this. She's going to be doing the first project that's environmentally focused, which is planting the friendship trees on our ride in Maggie Valley. So we've done most of this. President-elects must attend PETS, check. 2 club members must attend the grant management training. Deb and I did that. Current club president and president-elect must sign the memorandum of understanding, which I think Uta is doing tonight. So we're done. And then this is where we all come in. We got to put our heads together and see if there's a project that we want to apply for a grant for. And those grant applications are due by June 15th. I'll say June 15th about 74 more times tonight, just to remind everybody to keep me honest. The grants committee is going to review those applications by July 15th. Sorry, they're going to take 30 days and evaluate everything that comes in. The approved grant will be submitted as a block grant to the Rotary Foundation. So basically the district takes all of the approved grants and submits them as a grant to the Rotary Foundation to be paid. The grants are going to be considered rounds until the district designated funds money has been used. So what, like I was saying earlier, if there are a few that get approved now and there are some funds left over, they'll look at the next round that didn't quite make the cut the first round until they've completely exhausted the district designated funds. Again, money is matched 50% with a cap at $2,500. So if we shoot for a project that's $7,500, like our eye clinic project was this past year, we make 5,000 of that and they'll match 2,500. If the club commits 2,000, the district matches 1,000. All clubs are encouraged to apply, which we knew. And like I said, in lieu of the former $100 minimum per person per club that we used to have, they're just asking because they understand that things have been a little different this year and people may be financially unable to do so. They're asking that you do donate what you can. I still would like our club, if we can, as a club, to be shooting for an aggregate of $100 per person based on our donations. And the district grant funding is determined by the amount of foundation funding given 3 years prior. So everything we do today to donate to the foundation is affecting projects 3 years down the road. So what we're applying for today is based on funding that was provided 3 years ago. And as always, Charity Navigator has us ranked as the top possible rank because we're very financially solid. We're very financially responsible. We do good stuff with a fairly small budget. I mentioned that the deadline is June 15th for the district grant application. You guys are sleepy tonight. Nobody thinks I'm funny. Deb doesn't think I'm funny. Final reports then will be due. Final reports, which we've already taken care of. Jerry has taken care of our final report for last year's. So we're free and clear, are due by the 15th as well. I included in the invite, in the email that went out this afternoon, I included all of the documents if anybody wants to look at them. And then we will handle sending them back. So a couple things that I want to address. I'm going to stop sharing right now. A couple things I want to address that I sent out in the documents. The number one thing that I like about how Rotary does grants and does projects is that part of the grant criteria is that we have to be hands-on, right? We can't just collect a bunch of money from people and then hand it over to somebody else, some other organization, some other person to do the project. And that's one of the things that it's really drawn me to Rotary, and one of the reasons that I really enjoy the way that we do them. And I want to be hands-on. It's probably because I'm a control freak, but you know, I like the fact that we when we do an application for a project, it has to be, and we're going to be the ones, Mickey and whoever shows up for the Maggie Valley rides are going to be the ones who are physically there, planting the trees, making sure that we have coordinated in person. And I think, to me, that's one of the biggest things that I want to point out. So I welcome everybody's input over the next, what do we have, 90 days, over the next 90 days or so, about projects you have in mind that we could do as a club. But I will just caution you and remind you that all projects need to be some kind of hands-on aspect from our club. It doesn't have to be the entire club. I know how difficult that can be, right? But some kind of hands-on aspect from members of our club. So what questions do you have on the district grants process? It's funny, I'm looking around the room and how many like district governor elect.
I just want to point out, Amanda, that oh, my video is off. Hey, I just want to point out that our project, the last project we did was 2 years ago, and it just got extended into last year. But the report's been done since, I don't know, August or something like that. In the end, so
yeah. So we actually
we did not actually do a project last year.
That's right.
Our district grant project.
Jerry, was that a
The
district
year that
grant
got
or was that
lost.
a global grant?
That was a district grant.
Okay.
Yeah, I participated at every level of the Rotary Foundation. So I've been, the original work I did down in Guatemala was on a 3H grant, which was somewhere on the range of about $250,000. So been at about every level of this thing.
The nice thing is, with our literal physical reach that we have as a club, we can come up with some cool projects that can really have quite an impact, right? If we're able to partner with local clubs. If you think about it, we've got 45 members or so, 45, 50 members. If everybody were to go to their local club and we were all to combine and come up with some super mega project, like the Mega Pets this year, right? Some super mega project, that's quite a touch that we can have across the United States and Canada. Mickey, do you have something? Yes, ma'am.
So when we apply for the grant, we're not going to apply for just 3 trees, are we? Are we going to apply for, say, 3 trees on this ride and maybe a couple trees on the next ride and make it worth our while to file the paperwork? Or are we going to file for every batch of trees that we're going to plant on every ride?
Jerry, I'm sure we could word it either way, but Jerry, I'm going to look at you and say, my gut feeling is they'd probably be more apt to accept it as individual projects. What's your take?
I don't know.
we can write it, Mickey. If between now and June, reminder though that we have to be done with all the projects by June of next year as well, right?
I think the tree thing could be something we could do. I mean, just that we're going to do these many trees this year, and they're going to be all over the United States and Canada. And hey, I think that'd be a great project.
They're friendship remembrance trees this ride, but they don't have to be every ride, is my point.
And they don't necessarily, we don't need to say that in the grant either, right? We could just say, to Jerry's point, we could say between now and June of next year, we're going to plant 20 trees. But we'll need to make sure that we have we'll need to talk internally about, not just the trees, but what does it cost to transplant, to coordinate for the upkeep. The upkeep would be something that we'd have to talk about whether we can do as a grant because it's ongoing.
Well, the upkeep, I think my dad was big into doing stuff like this. And for the most part, even if you talk to the local funeral homes who do this all the time for remembering trees and such, you almost need to gift the tree to whoever's land it's on, and they become responsible for taking care of the tree, which is why you almost need to decide the kind of tree is decided by whoever the recipient is, because they're going to be responsible for taking care of it and it needs to fit the environment it's in.
Rotary projects generally avoid 2 things. Okay, Rotary International funded through the foundation avoid 2 things. Okay, bricks and band-aids. They don't do feel-good projects, and they don't do projects that have long-term ramifications of taxes and maintenance. Okay, long-term ramifications of changing the world's great. But if it's got ownership involved and things like that, that's not something that comes across very well. So particularly in district grants, should be like a one and done thing.
So one and done in your
So,
mind, though.
I like that. I like the idea of the trees thing. That'd be
Yeah, I was
kind of
gonna
cool.
say, if we can.
And,
if we
and I
can-
would bet it would. I would bet the committee would go for it. So
I
especially-
mean, I think you just basically say, okay, we're going to plant trees that range from, $100 to $150, depending on the region, depending on the type. And that's the budget. And in some places it might be a large tree, and in other places it might be more of a sapling, who knows?
well, you go for a specific amount of money, and then you say, hey,
Yeah.
it will be between X and Y amount of trees.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a kind of cool project, actually.
Yeah, and I think,
But
I
one of
mean,
the
it kind
things
of lights a fire under us to find more opportunities to ride. And to go to tree.
And something to do when we get there, right?
Right, yeah.
Besides eat. I mean, because let's face it, that's what we do. We eat and have a beer, and
That's okay, I'm okay with that too.
now we can dig a hole and plant a tree and say a
like
prayer, and
it.
off we go, right?
I don't mind that.
Amanda,
because I don't
one
have
of
to
the
find a
things,
gym.
Amanda, one of the things you said was about putting these on private property. I'd feel more comfortable if we were to put this on public space and see if the political entity would commit to taking care of it. Like if there's
Yeah,
a public
Mickey,
park.
as part of her research that she's doing for this project, she's looking at what the best locations are.
Yeah, I think for the most part, either the local Rotary group or the local church or the local town or whatever, but whoever you're gifting it to, whoever owns the property, even if it happens to be the Metro Park, they become responsible for taking care of it.
Yeah, we kind of, it's our gift to them. It's kind of like gifting somebody a puppy, right?
Yep. We dig a hole, we plant it, we do our best to make sure it's got a good start, and then, off we go. Which, brings us to a question, you put somebody's name on it and then it's dead a couple of years later. That's not a good thing either.
Yeah, I mean, but then, we can come back. I think we can take it on as a club to kind of keep track. Like I said, I think it'd be kind of cool for us to show on our website a graphic of where our trees live, right? Like,
Right.
like I said, because we've got
give
such
it-
a wide range.
Right. And if we give it to, Wheels Through Time or somebody like that, you kind of feel like it's gonna have a safer home than if you just plant it along the roadside.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So included in the grant then, Mickey, we'll need to talk about whether we're gonna do a plaque, whether there's any additional cost for transport or for anything.
Or gift of,
Permits.
gift from, if we're gonna
Yeah.
put a gift from, or we're just gonna leave it as anonymous.
Yeah, and then we can kind of like wink, wink, nudge, nudge the local club to make a donation to the Rotary Foundation. Like that, those are the kinds of things that I'd like to make sure that we're capturing. Jerry and John, do you guys have anything else to add about district grants?
I just want to throw out there, I'm in the initial phases of putting together an idea about a fundraising project that I want to throw out to you guys. I don't know why it just hit me on this, but I've already started with a Rotary vendor to see about getting these. The little bells that some of us have on the bottom of our bikes, the gremlin bells? I think that would be awesome if we had a Rotary gremlin bell and, we club buy a supply of them, dish them out to each one of the members and associate members, a couple dozen of them. And as they can sell or meet people or whatever, they sell them. These bells sell everywhere for like $12 a piece, and it's got to be $11 a profit, I would imagine. So
Yeah, I'm sure. I got
we're
one
trying
for
to figure
Christmas.
that out. So anyway, like I said, I'm working with our vendor. I was supposed to have the shirts up and running today for IFMR, but I'm working with a Rotary vendor. It has to be a Rotary vendor to come up with these things. So I just think that, it might be pretty cool if we could sell 1,000 of those and raise money for a project. It would be a kind of a two-way street. It'd be a great way to introduce our club and what we do. And those are a novelty item. I think they go over really well.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that better than a flag, personally.
Yeah, personally.
Good idea.
Yeah. Yep. I definitely,
Okay, the super.
we could do
the
a,
super-
can we do it with a year on it, Jerry? Can we do 2021?
Oh, that'd be cool. We could have a
Then
different
they have
design
to
for
get a
each
new
year.
one. We have to
Oh,
get a new one
man.
every year.
You know, the
That's
thing behind
cool.
those don't work unless you're gifted one.
Right,
Yeah,
well,
you
and
have
that's.
to-
So, you know, y'all gonna have to gift me one to make it work,
I was
right?
gonna say, are we just gonna get together and buy them and then exchange them at lunch?
Actually, John, you owe me. Oh, by
I've
the
got
way,
you that
I
shot
won't add
glass.
to this comment, but I just want to say one thing just that has nothing to do with this. John, you got to find a trailer hitch for your bike. That's all I'm going to say. Okay.
Rory,
Hey,
did you-
I've got another fundraising idea I want to throw out there. For my region, which is Zone 32, I'm the Polio Plus coordinator. So what I did is I purchased a bunch of $1 commemorative coins, which commemorates the discovery of the polio vaccine. So what I've offered in my district is if you donate, or in my regular club, if you donate $45 or more, over and above your normal donation to Polio Plus, I will send you one of these coins. So all you got to do is send me the receipt at my email. But that's strictly a Polio Plus.
is that the equivalent of a challenge coin? John, did your
No,
army
it's a
roots
real
come through
United
with that?
States one. It's a real US mint $1 coin, but it commemorates the discovery of the polio vaccine.
That's awesome.
I didn't even know they made those.
Well, I don't know where I heard it. Right now, in my club, the offer is at $45. In my district, it's $100 over and above your. I'd show it up, but it wouldn't show up too well here.
That's awesome. Well, I
So,
definitely, Jerry, I
I-
like the idea of combining that fundraising opportunity with the bells. It's very us, right? It's very motorcycle specific. I actually had no idea what the Gremlin bell was until Mike got me one for Christmas. So I have one about my bike. For
Cheap.
Christmas, I got all this Indian stuff and no motorcycle.
Mike got you a bell? Cheap.
Oh no, he got me a bell and a shirt and a keychain, and you know, I got all the Indian stuff and talked him out of the Indian. But
Would that be indicative?
There you go, Deb.
Dinglings?
yes, yes, Clint.
That's not where it's supposed to be, Deb.
Those actually, I actually have two that hang in my office that came off one of the bikes I sold. So they came off of that bike, and then I have new ones on all my new bikes.
Well, I was gonna say, Deb, what do you have? 6 bikes, something like that?
At the moment, there's 3, and yeah, there may be a 4th. Who knows?
There's mine as it's mounted on the bike. And it's pretty beat up.
I was gonna say yours is pretty beat up. It's from all of those
Mine looks the same.
dragon adventures you have.
See the divots and what have you? Those gremlins get the hell beat out of them.
No, I definitely like that. I also
And the guy that
was
bought
thinking
it for
about
me is on here.
I was also thinking with the patches, John, you'll appreciate this. I bought this really cool brown leather Indian vest. And I was gonna put my patches on it. And maybe the patches are something else that we could do.
Yeah,
if we
it
could-
would be
if we
nice
could
to
do-
have a rotary patch.
Well, you should have one, Mickey. Did we not? Did you
Yeah,
not
I
get
have
one?
a very small one that I put on a vest that I no longer own.
Okay. But the opportunity to get some more of those would be good too.
You got the new patches from IFMR, didn't you, Mickey?
No, I don't think I did.
Got mine sewn on.
I got,
Yeah,
the only patch I got was the introductory packet.
Oh, you got that back
was
from when Bob was putting those big things out. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, this is the new ones that were all sent out this last year. Okay. Time to recanvas everybody.
I got a pin, didn't get a patch. Oh,
Yeah, that
I did get one of those. I'm sorry, I do have that.
The new orange one?
I do have one that Keith's holding up.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It hasn't been sewn on yet. Now that you hold it up, it was in my saddlebag waiting to be sewn on. And my bike got sold, so I need a new vest and a new bike.
May
There's
I
a yellow one
recommend-
coming up for sale shortly.
May I recommend?
No.
Yeah, right.
It can't be yellow. I want it dragonfly green. I miss my bike.
You can paint it any color you want.
Love you, Jerry, but no.
Why'd you sell
You
your
know what?
bike?
Pardon?
Why'd you sell your bike?
Ask Jeff, he sold it.
Ah,
It came as a package deal. They came to look at my bike and he sold mine and his at the same time. He bought
Oh.
himself a new bike and I'm still bikeless.
Wait.
I do have a sidecar that I look very good on but never, Jeff, there's no way in hell. I mean, he's gonna sit in the sidecar while I'm driving it.
Wait, so is Mickey the new Amanda who has no bike now that I have a
I am the new Amanda.
Yes.
I
still-
do have.
You still got the sidecar, Mickey?
I do have a little Yamaha scooter, but that does not count. Although
Can you get
legally
can you get the
Whoa,
little
whoa,
legally
whoa,
it's a
whoa.
motor- legally
You
it's a
still-
motorcycle, but no, I'm not pulling a Sherry Bannister, who's my mother, and telling you it's a motorcycle. It is a scooter.
I don't know. I saw that gentleman came and talked to us about the ride across Egypt and they did those on Vespas. So I'm
Yeah,
just
well,
saying.
it's not. It looks like it looks like a little mini motorcycle. It's a little Yamaha, but
Have you seen the little Indian? Every time I go into the Indian dealership.
yeah. Oh,
John
that is
goes to
cute.
this.
That is
Yeah,
cute.
all 5 foot of me walks into the Indian dealership and I'm like, yeah, I have a hard time because all the bikes are too tall. They're like, oh, have you looked at this one? All right, look, it's not funny anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Our neighbor bought a very used yellow, bright yellow and orange. Jerry, you'd like this, Road King. But and he was trying to talk me into buying his old bike. I'm like, no. At some point I will buy another bike.
You
I
realize,
digress, but
you realize that the Superstitions having a green motorcycle is a bad one too.
I know, but that was the color of money. I liked it.
I like it.
Just so you all know that I'm not kidding, there's a website of motorcycle superstitions, including the Gremlin Bell.
Yeah.
Green motorcycles.
Green motorcycles are bad luck.
Yeah, but mine was dragonfly green. It was iridescent.
My mom's was dragonfly green, actually.
Yeah, that iridescent green is real awesome. I remember looking
Oh,
when I
man.
looked at Kawasaki Ninja. They were all that color.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, Sheila, there is no green like it because you walk into any dealership and they say, well, here's this green and it's like neon green or it's green like the color of your shirt or it's just not the right color green. But that dragonfly green just caught my eye. I swear I had the hardest time giving it up.
What kind of bike did you have, Mickey?
Softail Deluxe.
Of course you did. I love the soft tail. I had
Yeah,
to
and
Scout.
with my short stature, it was perfect for me.
Yeah, the Scout, the rear fender on the Scout is like so close, so close to
Mhm.
the soft tail.
It's one of the
Matthew,
few bikes that I could put my feet flat on the ground without the heels.
Yes.
Yeah. Matthew, are you raising your hand?
Yes.
Yeah, since you're talking about fundraisers, let me tell you a little bit about what we're doing here for our next fundraiser, which is a online virtual bingo night on
Ah.
April 6th. Can I share a screen with you guys? Look
Yeah,
for-
please do. Yeah.
So this is our first, can everyone see this?
Yes, sir.
Jenkintown.
First attempt on a virtual bingo, and it's coming up on April 6th. If you want to participate and come and have fun with us, you can do that. I can actually put in the information in the chat screen. Anybody?
Yeah, do that for sure. And I can also send it out as part of the email follow-up. We can ask.
Do you host that yourself or is that like a website or a game
we-
site?
We actually, but we host a Zoom calls, and we use a site called myfreebingocards.com.
Ah,
We purchase bingo cards. I mean, if you're playing with the more than 30 cards, we purchase from this site and use that site to play this game. So, and if you're interested in, I can give you more information on that.
Yes,
Ma-
definitely.
major
definitely
question.
interested.
Major question. Do you
Yeah,
have to get a license from your state gambling commission for this?
in our John may have heard this in the pets training that accepting credit cards online for this kind of activity is not recommended. But if you just accept, checks in the mail, which, we all know that it takes takes days to get to.
Okay.
someplace.
But my question again, in working with sites like this, a lot of this stuff is all covered on the state gambling licensing stuff. And going across borders is very difficult with some of that. And that's why I'm asking if this thing's beyond, if it's restricted, if in your fine print on signing up with this site, is it restricted to Pennsylvania or can you go across states?
Good question. I mean, we are kind of not expecting anybody from out of state for this. So, I mean, we didn't really think through that. Most of the people who
That'd
signed
be
up
really
for
cool if we could.
currently from Pennsylvania.
Sure.
I mean, you look into it, and it's what I learned from that training is like it's a forfeiture law that applies here, and you're not allowed to, accept credit cards. But I mean, this is our first time, and if it's too late in the game, we're still, going ahead with the credit card purchases because of the time constraint.
Jerry,
But
do you think we could do it where if you make a donation, your donation to the club is equivalent to a card or a number of cards based on what you donate?
Well, you're still playing a game across state lines.
Well, Jerry,
I'm
I
going
wonder-
to follow up on this. I would love to follow up on this. I mean, if this is a way. Matthew, is there a
Jerry?
website for this?
Website for virtual bingo? I don't believe so. But he may have to do some research.
Okay.
About across the states and things like that, because this is probably something new, right? Because of the COVID and all that.
Well, that'd be great for us if we could do something like that.
Started doing this, so it is a new area.
My home club in Hampton Roads is looking into doing the very same thing. We had a test run of doing virtual bingo last week. I don't know all the particulars, but I can certainly get all the information, or at least get you in touch with the person that's in charge of this.
Yeah, find out,
Yeah.
because
Jerry,
especially for your club, I mean, this is a fitting format, right?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, because you're not in one place all together. So
Yeah, and Mickey had an idea too, Jerry, that maybe we could, rather than paying out a winnings, we could take it out of somebody's club fees or dues.
Yeah, but I mean, then you're just doing it within the club. I mean, you're not doing winnings. You want to try and get the general public into something like this.
Yeah.
Sure.
You want to spend other people's money.
I do want to spend. I'm a big fan of spending other people's money.
Because we can
That's
spend
like-
our money all
right.
day real easy, okay?
Hey, Matthew, one of the things that you might want to check is that sometimes your larger clubs will have a license, a gaming license. I know in Pennsylvania, you do have to have a gaming license. But if you have some larger clubs, see if they have something that they'll use.
The service might take care of that for him, but again, it's the issue is cross state lines and cross countries.
Yeah,
actually, but
it's a valid point.
yeah, that.
I wonder if I host a game at my house with, 20 of my friends, if I just, buy 20 tickets, through my account, so to speak. Wonder if that.
I think the state gaming commission's seen that one.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard if he used payment services like Venmo, I'm talking about, or PayPal and things like that, they have basically they had to forfeit the whole proceedings from because of they didn't have the proper license and all that. But we are not using those payments that just services that I mentioned were just classical credit cards.
Jerry,
Yeah.
I have to think there's got to be some solution, because there are so many, like right now with the brackets, right?
Those are actually very illegal.
Like on ESPN, I'm saying though.
Yeah, but if there's money involved, it's gamble. And that's where things are iffy.
But like
In the
fundraising,
clubs, a
so
lot
I
of clubs do
just-
these card drawings. Those are illegal. Okay.
Yeah, but Rotary does fundraisers all the time, so there's got to be some way we do
So
this.
I'm going to, I guess, unshare it so we can
Thank you.
put that information into the chat. And Amanda, I'll also send you the flyer. so
Thank you
can
very
get-
much. Jerry, I have some information too, because my daughter's gymnastics club just put out something, a runyourpool.com fundraiser that they're doing based on the NCAA brackets as well. It's sports ball. It's slightly different than what we're talking about doing, but I'll send that along. I like this.
Yeah, learning
full
how
of
to do this would be
ideas.
great. And we just stumbled on the gambling issue, the legal issues. But
Yeah,
that's great. Thanks, Matthew.
No problem.
for sure. I want to play.
Okay.
I'll come sit outside of your club. I'll just sit in Pennsylvania. I'll gamble there. It's fine.
Yeah.
Motorcycle.
Go get a bike first
You're-
and then come on riding.
That's a good
Just
ride.
get a
You're
burner
not that
phone.
far from me.
Just get a burner phone, Amanda.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jerry. I don't have any idea how any of that stuff works.
Amanda, you're only an hour away from me.
I know, and it's a beautiful ride. I've been planning training rides, and the more I drive to and from the work, the more I realize that that's not going to happen anytime soon on my motorcycle.
We're working on a training ride for you, Amanda.
Okay.
Aren't we, John? Aren't we?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
Huh?
Is that the tail of the dragon ride you guys are talking about?
Oh, no. It's the tale of the North and South America.
Mm.
No. I'm
Oh.
talking about this one, John. It's just outside. It's in Virginia. Not
Oh,
too
that
far from
one, yeah.
Amanda.
Did
There's a
you
good-
read the article?
There's a good day trip for you. I've ridden part of this actually.
I don't actually recognize
so have
any of
I.
those cities. Where is that?
Where's it at?
It's in Southern
in
Virginia. Southern
Real
Virginia.
Virginia. Yeah, that's in real Virginia. I live in Northern
It's in
Virginia.
Southern
That's not real
Virginia.
Ridge Mountain. Nice.
Down near Whitfield, it's southwest.
Yeah.
I've ridden 16 from south of Virginia all the way into West Virginia. So I've ridden part of this already.
You've probably seen more of Virginia than I have, and I've lived here for 10 years.
Well, we're going to change that for you.
15 years.
We're going to change that for you.
Hey, before we go, I want to throw out an idea on an unrelated topic. I got my copy of Roadrunner magazine this week, and I was reading through it, and I said, you know, a lot of these people would be good Rotarians. So I sent an email to them and said, how much does it cost to advertise? Well, as you know, it's not going to be cheap. This is what they sent me, would be for small groups, not-for-profits like us. I just want to throw this out for the board of directors to consider. Maybe we could advertise our club to see if we could get some new members.
Okay, if you don't mind, John, can you either send the PDF or send the link to the PDF so that we can talk about it?
I will send you the email they sent me.
Even better. Thank you.
And hey, John, you know what? They're always asking for contributors. I think one of these days we ought to just contribute an article and get free advertising.
That too.
I think the memorial ride would be great for that.
Mm-hmm. We take lots of pictures and submit it and see if we
Well,
get free.
could we do, I don't know where I need to register for Memorial Ride, which reminds me, Jerry, are they in a place where if we were to do it before the Memorial Ride, they could accept more registrants? Like, could we drum up some more riders for the ride if we were to do it earlier? Then, you know, rather than a recap of the Memorial Ride, we could do it as in advance of the ride to try to get more people to join.
I'm not sure what you're saying here.
Well, you'd have to write an article getting everybody excited about going on a ride.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Somebody that was good at writing articles and stuff.
and
And
submit. I
trust
don't
me,
know.
That's not me.
Are they a monthly publication or quarterly?
This is April 21st. I think I'm not sure how often they come out. I think it's
Every other
monthly.
month.
Roadrunners every other month
Yeah, this is March, April.
magazine.
So they
The thing I
do,
really like is they give you these tank bag maps. Like these four are in Ohio, in and around when we did the Windy Nine.
I
Well, I'm
need a
just
tank
thinking-
bag that fits a Goldwing.
I was just thinking if we could do both maybe a short article, whatever it takes to get something small in there.
I
that
don't
says-
know if they'd take
Yeah.
it right away. I don't know how often they call for articles, and
Right.
it's a long process to get one in.
Or if we
even
could buy
even
a
if they
small
get one in.
ad, if we could buy a small ad for the ride itself
Oh, I got you.
and then do a follow-up as an article, as a write-up.
Well, small ads, what, 800, almost $1,000?
Mhm. Okay.
We could also do an announcement of a ride. They might, I know that the AMA magazine will publish that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think maybe this is, I mean, obviously, we're a sponsor of the ride, but this might be more of a question for the IFMR board. Jerry. So,
Jerry, Jerry, Jerry,
Jerry.
Jerry.
I'm sorry, my
Sheila-
mind's on 3 different things at once.
That's okay. I'm
Matthew's got
happy.
me turned on to the site and stuff, and I'm checking things out.
Bueller.
So Sheila and Matthew, every member of our club is also, our club dues also go to pay your dues to the International Fellowship of Motorcycling Rotarians, the IFMR, that's what we're talking about. So Jerry, this year is you're done this year with your president?
I'm president up until June 30th this year yet.
Yeah.
And then Larry Trippett will be the next president.
So that's what all this IFMR talk was. I wasn't sure if you guys were already
It's the
members.
International Fellowship of Motorcycling Rotarians.
Mm.
So.
And there's
we-
13, I think 13 or 14 chapters around the world, and I've got the North American chapter.
How many people are in the North American chapter, Jerry?
About 150,
Nice.
which is small. It was at one time as high as 600 10 years
50
ago.
of them?
So we
50
gotta
of them
work
are
on
in
that.
our club? So, all right.
Most of our club was members before we decided to make that a
I
benefit
was
to the
gonna say, I
club.
think it was a chicken and egg thing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some confusion that eliminated a lot of it. It's worth it.
Bye, Deb.
Or are we
Yes, go ahead, Matthew.
8 o'clock now? But I just wanted to mention some of our club in our neighborhood, I mean, nearby, approached us with an international project. This is in Rwanda. It's a school project. They're building a kitchen for this school. And it's mainly to satisfy the government. They're asking all the schools to provide nutritional meals for their children. So somebody came up with this idea of building a school, and they're getting some Rotary clubs on board. I don't know if you like more information on that project. I can send it to you if you like.
Yeah, for sure. If you want to send it out, I'm happy to send it out to the membership and see, what we
Okay.
think about potentially being part of an international project. And Sheila, I made a note as well for your international project in Guatemala. If you guys could both send me an email, and
Yep, definitely.
we'll look at all of them. Tis the season for grants, right? Let's make them happen.
Season for grants, yep.
Gary, what are you sending? I'm putting it in over here so I don't lose it. So we're we're actually at 8 o'clock. So I will, I'm gonna wrap it up. We didn't go through global grants, but it's a much more onerous process. And once we have identified something that maybe we would like to be a part of, we can definitely come back and revisit that. But I will just recap that Mickey, Uta and I need to finalize the memorandum for understanding with the district. Get that submitted as soon as possible. If we have any ideas and we want to submit a grant application, that needs to be done by June 15th. And Mickey, I like your idea of submitting, let's get together. Feel free to call a meeting based on who you think should be involved and would be helpful in putting together that grant application for your project, which has more than just trees for Maggie Valley and is now motorcycle.
Well, I mean, realistically, I'm not going to be around after Maggie Valley to see it through. So we need to make sure that somebody picks it up after that. So
Yeah, so we can talk about that too, but let's make sure that we capture everything that we could potentially want to do in the grant application. And so we can communicate back to the club what our piece of it's going to be, as far as, we do have a fundraising obligation as well.
okay.
And that's it. Matthew and Sheila, thank you guys very much for both joining us. We're dropping like flies here, so we're gonna do the 4-way test before we lose anybody else. And I'm gonna pick on John Cram to lead us in the 4-way test to end our meeting tonight.
Out of the things we think, do, and say. First, is it the
This is the
truth?
truth.
The truth.
The truth.
Second, is it fair
Is
to
it fair to all
all?
concerned?
Third, will it
Will it build goodwill and better
friendships?
Better friendship.
Fourth,
Is it
oh my gosh,
beneficial?
Beneficial.
Beneficial to all concerned.
and fifth,
Is it fun?
is it fun?
And sixth, will anybody find out?
Hey. All right, thank you.
All right, see you guys next
Matthew and
Thank you.
Sheila, very nice to meet you guys.
Nice
You're
to meet
obviously
y'all.
welcome at all
Yeah,
times.
Matthew,
Have a great
thanks
night,
for
guys.
joining us.
Thank
Good
you, very
night.
much, guys.
Night, guys.
Good night.
Take care.